Did you recognize the song playing in the beginning of this video? That song, When You Wish Upon a Star, was written by Ned Washington and Lee Harline for the 1940s Walt Disney film Pinocchio. It is now played at the beginning of every Disney film while the Cinderella castle is displayed on screen. Hello, and welcome to this episode of The Ethical Factor, with a concentration on Disney, the man, the films, and the parks. I am your host, Hannah Collier, and today we will be diving into a learning experience concerning the anthropomorphism of characters in Disney films and how this makes for a unique experience in the parks. For a little bit of background information on anthropomorphism, we can look all the way back to the Greeks, circa 560 BC. Xenophanes, who is a Greek poet and religious thinker, realized that people were assigning human characteristics to the gods. It's pretty safe to assume that we all have a hard time when it comes to not anthropomorphizing things, like toys or animals, especially as children. I would like to introduce you to a very good friend of mine. His name is Asper, and yes, you guessed it, he is a donkey. Asper is full of spunky personality, and I, for one, have certainly assigned human characteristics to him. For example, Asper gets mad if you don't play ball with him, as he really enjoys fetching. Weird, huh? He shows his displeasure by chasing you down with the ball and whacking you with it. On the other hand, you can tell when he's been missing you because he'll rest his chin on your chest and cuddle up to you. A few other friends also display the same characteristics, though less so than Asper, simply because they are still babies. Meet Cole and Oreo. They enjoy jumping, running, and fighting with each other. If I were to give more attention to Oreo than to Cole, Cole gets extremely jealous and will try to get my attention, either by jumping on me or trying to eat my hair. I use these farm animals as my examples purposefully so as to lead into talking about Walt Disney himself. Disney spent several years as a young boy living in small-town Marceline, Missouri. While there, he lived on a farm, making friends with the farm animals and later using them as inspiration for his films. We're going to be looking at a few of Disney's works, including the 2003 film Finding Nemo and the original Mickey Mouse from Steamboat Willie, produced in 1928. We're going to watch a short clip from Finding Nemo, and then we'll discuss why it's important and how anthropomorphism is shown through this one clip.
First day of school! Wake up, wake up! Come on, first day of school!
Oh, I don't want to go to school.
Here we can see that Nemo is really excited for his first day of school, but Marlin is less excited. This is very human, considering that a lot of younger children are excited to go to school because they get to see their friends and they get to play, but parents just want to sleep in.
Never get out of there yourself. I'll do it. All right, where's the brake? You feel a brake? Sometimes you can't tell because fluid is rushing to the area. Now, any rushing fluids? Are you woozy? How many stripes do I have?
I'm fine.
Answer the stripe question.
Here again, we have a great example of an anthropomorphized character, as Marlin is displaying the perfect overprotective parent. In fish, this is not natural. Some fish even eat their young, so this just is another example as to how Marlin has been anthropomorphized into the overprotective parent.
Oh.
Do you want this anemone to sting you?
Yes.
Brush.
Okay, I'm done.
Up, you missed a spot.
Where?
There. Right there. And here, and here.
What you just watched was a short clip from the 2003 film Finding Nemo. You saw two of the main characters, Marlin and Nemo, anthropomorphized into lovable and unique characters. So now we are going to look at one of the ways that Disney did not anthropomorphize an animal in the same movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes, Marlin. I see it. It's beautiful.
So, Coral, when you said you wanted an ocean view, you didn't think you were going to get the whole ocean, did you? Huh? Oh, yeah. A fish can breathe out here. Did your man deliver, or did he deliver?
My man delivered.
And it wasn't so easy.
Because a lot of other clownfish had their eyes on this place.
You better believe they did. Every single one of them.
Mm-hmm. You did good. And the neighborhood is awesome.
So you do like it, don't you?
No. I do. I really do like it. But Marlin, I know that the drop-off is desirable with the great schools and the amazing view and all that, but do we really need so much space?
Coral, honey, these are our kids we're talking about. They deserve the best. Look, look, look. They'll wake up, poke their little heads out, and they see a whale passing right by their bedroom window.
You're gonna wake the kids.
Oh, right, right.
Aw, look. They're dreaming. We still have to name them.
You want to name all of them right now? All right. We'll name this half Marlin Jr., and then this half Coral Jr. Okay, we're done.
I like Nemo.
Nemo? Well, we'll name one Nemo, but I'd like most of them to be Marlin Jr.
Just think in a couple of days, we're gonna be parents.
Yeah. What if they don't like me?
Marlin,
Oh, really?
there's over 400 eggs. Odds are one of them is bound to like you. What?
You remember how we met?
Well, I try not to.
Well, I remember. Excuse me, miss. Can you check and see if I have a hook in my lip?
Marlin!
Oh, you gotta look closer because it's way in here. Get away! Here he is! Cutie's here! Where did everybody go? Coral, get inside the house, Coral. No, Coral, don't. They'll be fine. Just get inside, you, right now.
Now, I don't know about you, but I always hated that part as a little girl. Now, as an adult, though, I can recognize that the Barracuda was not being evil or trying to kill Coral or the babies, but simply being a Barracuda and feeding itself to survive. That is one of the ways that Disney did not anthropomorphize a character in the film, and now we will see another.
This is bad, Dory.
Hey, watch this!
Boing, boing, boing,
Dory!
boing, boing. You can't
Dory!
catch me.
Don't
Boing,
bounce on the tops! They will
boing.
not sting you!
Here we can see Marlin and Dory crossing the jellyfish forest as best they can through a game that Marlin makes up to keep Dory safe. I want to focus on the jellyfish because they are just floating there, doing what jellyfish do. They are not trying to sting Dory like what happens at the end of this clip, but just take a look.
Dory? Oh no. Dory! 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 Dory!
Am I disqualified?
No, you're doing fine. You're actually winning. But you gotta stay awake. Where does P. Sherman live?
P. Sherman, Wallaby Way, Sydney,
That's it!
Wallaby Way.
Oh, stay awake! Stay awake! Oh, stay awake! Stay awake!
Now that part is what I was referring to when I spoke of the other way that Disney did not anthropomorphize its characters. Like I said earlier, the jellyfish, they weren't evil, they weren't trying to hurt Dory or Marlin, they were just floating there. Now we're going to take a look at the very first Mickey Mouse in a clip from Steamboat Willie. Steamboat Willie played in theaters in 1928, and it is now shown at the beginning of most Disney films. You know, you can see Mickey steering the wheel of the boat. A fun fact is that Steamboat Willie was inducted to the National Film Registry in 1998, so that's interesting. But I just wanted to be able to compare the old Mickey Mouse with the new Mickey Mouse, and I'll flash two pictures up on the screen for you to see that. But Disney knew to anthropomorphize an animal character effectively, you needed to make it look more babyish, bigger eyes, flatter nose. So you will see the difference in those two, and I'll also show images from Bambi where you can see, you know, what a real deer looks like and what Bambi looks like, and so you can see how it looks cuter and it's easier for human children to interact with and connect with. So here you can see the differences that I was just mentioning earlier. And the old Mickey Mouse, his nose is much longer, his eyes are flatter and less pronounced, and then you can see in the new Mickey, you know, he's got a flatter nose, bigger eyes, you know, more, well, definitely the color is an addition that kind of helps make him seem more friendly. And then we've got the deer. So you can see the one deer has got a very long nose and big ears, pretty big eyes, but in the animated version, the anthropomorphized version of the deer, Bambi, we've got, you know, the shorter nose and the big playful eyes and the shorter ears. Just makes it seem a little bit more inviting and more fun to market if that is what you plan to do with the characters, which is what the Disney company has done, and that is what they do in the parks as well.
Dude, check out the double front intro. Oh, look at all the human dudes in the human tank. Hello, human dudes. They live, sweet. Dudes, I don't want to freak you out, but there's like no water in your tank. Hey, we got some little dudes in the sub-level. Hello, little dudes. Hey, some other little dudes. Hey, we got a dude chilling front row rocking the blue shell right over here. Let's totally talk to him. What's your name, dude?
Mickey.
Nice to meet you, Mickey. You having a good day?
Yeah.
Sweet. Do you know how to talk like a turtle?
Spring Jellyman. Jellyman.
Dude. That is awesome. You're totally talking turtle, Mickey. Respect, dude. Where are you from?
I'm from... I forgot.
Dude, that's called having a Dory moment. Well, who brought you here today, dude?
My mom and
Sure.
my grandpa.
Oh, right on. Multi-generational supervision. Hey, Mickey's mom and grandpa are here. Pop a fit, dudes.
Okay.
All right, so that is what I was talking about when I mentioned the interactive attractions at Disney that correspond with the films. Turtle Talk with Crush is an interactive attraction, like I said, in Epcot at Future World. You can see the little boy was talking with Crush, and Crush was responding to him using the boy's name and everything else like that. So it's not just pre-recorded, a lot of it is, but it's also, you know, at the same time it's being produced. Disney has several patents on simulated conversation by pre-recorded audio navigator. This allows for such an interactive experience in the parks. Crush was asking them questions, they were answering, and then he was using those specific answers to address the rest of the crowd, which is interesting and makes for a lot of fun for not only the kids but the adults as well, because the technology is incredible, and those that enjoy technology would have a fun time experiencing that type of interactive technology. As we wrap up our time together today, I just want to do a brief run through of what we've learned. We started out with what is anthropomorphism and where it came from, all the way back to the Greeks. We talked about how it began in the Disney company, and that was with Marceline, Missouri, where Disney grew up. We saw some examples of anthropomorphism and non-anthropomorphized characters in Disney films. We compared, your typical character with the anthropomorphized version so that you can see the difference. And then we also talked about how that is incorporated into the Disney parks to make it an interactive experience for everybody, young and old. And the way that Disney keeps consistent with all of this is just by bringing the magic in from the film into the parks. And the park isn't just an amusement park. It's a way for you to participate in the film yourself, you and your children, or you and your parents, depending on who's watching this video. So yeah, being able to speak with Crush is like being in the movie Finding Nemo yourself. And it is like that for most of the films. You've got all your princesses, you've got all your other characters that you can interact with, and that is anthropomorphism in Disney. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.